Did you know Los Angeles is home to the most street art in the world, featuring over 2,200 murals and countless tags? Although starting in its birthplace in New York, it's hard to tell if Los Angeles may be the most tagged up city in America due to confusion between vandalism or the large-scale artistic murals LA is known for, bringing us to the question, why, how, and who? This is exactly what we're here to learn together today as we show you what's good America. Let's dive deep into the mind of a tagger.
America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day. Yeah, America, fuck yeah, freedom is the only way. Yeah, terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, fuck yeah.
We start our journey of insight today in Pico Union with a singular artist making noise in his area. America, meet OPEC. Alright, bro, so tell me about it. Where are we at?
We're right here in Pico Union, right here with the infamous OPEC UPK using paint.
You used paint for this, so it wasn't spray paint?
This is spray paint right here, all spray paint.
Okay, so it's all spray paint. So tell me a little history behind this, bro. Is this like your first tag, or?
It's something I've been practicing for a while. Whenever I'm bored, I come out here and practice. I've been doing this since 2012. I've been doing this for over 10 years.
And your tag is what, UP?
Okay,
UPK?
Yeah.
What does UPK mean?
using paint, usually faded. It's a crew where we come out, do graffiti all over LA, all over Long Beach, all over the world. You know, little by little, we're gonna be coming through, hitting a sign near you.
See, me personally, I'm just curious about this because the only thing I really know about graffiti is it's cool as fuck, you know. And I know there's a lot of people curious as to why people do graffiti. So, what makes you tick, bro? What inspires you to tag?
It's a way to express yourself, you know, to let people know that you exist, you know, for those people that don't, you know, that really like to interact with others. You come out, hit up your name, and people are going to recognize you eventually. After putting so much work, they're going to be like, hey, I seen you here, I seen you over there, and, you know, that credibility comes up, the love starts coming up, you start prospering in the game, just like we're doing right now with my boy Tonka.
What got you into tagging? Like, what started it for you? Like,
inspiration, you know, just all the writing that I used to see growing up around here. I'm like, man, I could do the same thing as well, but with a little bit more flow, a little bit more color, instead of it just being strictly gang graffiti, you know, more pop, more art. Involved in the community, you know.
So you would say, like, one of your messages is, it's not always just because you see graffiti, it's not always gang banging, it's not always...
It's not all negativity, it's not about beef, it's not all about hatred amongst people, among groups hating each other, you know. There's a lot of unity in the game, you know, there's people supporting each other, people wanting to see other people grow. Key thing is to support each other, but, you know, eventually when you do this for so long, you start seeing the animosity between people, and, you know, that starts conflict, but, you know, that's something else, you know.
It's best to leave it be where it's at.
Just let it be and just get up, you know, do it for the love of the game.
So how illegal is tagging?
It depends what you hit. You know, depends what you ride on. You know, you could hit something like this, you'll be good, but, you know, hit something that's city property, they're gonna come and fuck with you, you know, they're gonna take your ass in. Sometimes it really depends on who catches you, you know.
Okay.
It's a shady game.
Oh yeah, bro. Do you have any crazy stories from tagging? Any encounters with the other taggers? Any encounters with the police? Any just like wild stories that America's just gotta hear?
You look up there.
Where are we looking, bro? Is that the UPK up there?
Yeah, big ass UPK right here. We were out here painting one day, and some guy came up asking us where we were from, and, you know, things got out of hand. We ended up fighting this guy, and this guy took it to another level. We were chilling upstairs right there in that balcony, and we ended up getting shot. And I personally jumped from the second floor, landed on the alley, took off, and, you know, called it in from my homies and saved my homies' lives.
Damn.
That shit gets real, and the fucking news ended up saying that it was gang affiliated, but it was just, you know, some bullshit, wrong time, you know, wrong place, wrong time.
Wow, that is a wild story, bro. Thanks for the input, bro.
Hell
Be
yeah.
sure to follow my boy on the gram. We're gonna put his link right there so you guys can follow his work, watch him grow as he paints across the city. I think that sums up this one. We are on to the next one, America. We will see you there. And we are on the way right now to meet Rolex. He is a artist. He was actually, we ran into him because of this reel right here. What the fuck have I just run into? Coincidentally enough, he commented, which is one of the ideas that kind of gave me the idea to start the series. So we're gonna go meet up with him. He's got a pretty sick tag, as you guys can see. So this is the location that Rolex gave me. You should have just said the train tracks.
We got a little speaker for the wine and shit. We got our tips right here, everything we can need. Our tips are like our paintbrushes, you know what I mean? We want to go big, we want to go small, do a little flare, I want to do this like that, you know. Right now we're gonna try and look for some colors, and we're just gonna pick out some purples and shit. Something that'll look dope, I think, you know. Let's see if I got another purple yet. I got another one, so that means we can go dark to light, and then we can do a nice little lime green outline. So we're gonna do these three fills, these two for the outline, and we're gonna do some white.
Dang, America, I did not know this is what we were signing up for.
White shining is this. And we're just gonna take a black just in case, you know, just fuck it, you know, why not?
Got all the colors we need packed up in the lunchbox. The code words, you feel me? The first step in our lingo is the lunchbox is packed. When the lunchbox is packed, tag's about to go down.
Bro, this is like one of the most famous spots right here in LA where I brought you. A lot of people do music videos and shit right here. What is it, fucking Wednesday, Thursday?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday, alright, cool. It's a cool little hump day. Boys and girls, never do a crime on the weekend, especially not on a Friday. You will fucking stay in that bitch or do a 5-day flash without even wanting to. For real. If you know what a 5-day flash is, comment down below. 5-day flash. This is what they call El Pato Yard. There's a spot right here that does a lot of produce and shit. It's called El Pato. So I think that's why they call it that. It's a chill ass spot. Once you're in here, you're pretty much golden and shit. It's just once you're out there, you're kind of like exposing shit to the city and whoever's coming in, whoever's coming out and shit. You got a blend between neighborhoods and tigers right here. So that's probably most likely a neighborhood. For sure that's a neighborhood, I know for a fact. You got a couple hoods, you got a couple tigers and shit. Some people take it differently when you go over them.
Hey,
you know what I
there's
mean?
Gravity.
So how did I pick the spot? Honestly, I picked it because I think I can fucking bust over this shit. Honestly, it's not the best shit ever. I feel sorry for Wet Sauce. Hey, if you're watching this shit, I'm sorry. I got your back. Don't even trip. But hey, Spencer, this is just for the video, and your spot was the easiest to cap. I'm sorry. Rules are rules. Rules are if you can't top it, don't touch it.
So that's rule number one of tagging. You can't top it.
Don't touch. We're gonna try to get started and shit. So we use the white for a little sketch and shit. The gangs use tagging as like a way to fucking recruit, you know what I mean? And that's kind of fucked up because tagging for me, honestly, the reason why I do this shit, bro, it saved my life, bro. It helped me get sober, it helped me change my shit, it helped me fucking stop doing what the fuck I was doing that was no good, you know what I mean? Now I see this shit like getting infiltrated, you know what I mean? And it's not the same anymore. It's like back then this shit was like an escape. Now it's more like a fucking trap. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you know? Right. You're walking into some shit that you don't know. Like, you get into the wrong crew, you don't know that crew's fucking a baby fucking something, so-and-so, you know what I mean? So, nowadays, it's fucking treacherous out there, but I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, man, you're good. Just stay out there, stay out the way. If you smell trouble, stay out of it. Because honestly, if you like pussy, bro, get the fuck out that shit, bro. There's plenty of ways to do shit that'll fulfill you, that's fun, and you don't gotta fucking take a risk. Like this, honestly, to me, yeah, it's considered a crime, but to me, it's a victim of this crime because I'm not really hurting nobody, you feel me? Like, We're not going to nobody's houses, nobody's private property and shit. Yeah, we are vandalizing private property, which is the cities, but in a way, they honestly don't give a fuck. We don't go to fucking cities like Orange County or fucking where we know you guys don't like that shit. Like, we're not fucking stupid, you know what I mean? Like, we know where it's at and where it's not at. So like, you don't see us going to places where we're not welcome and shit. We see, you know, like cities like LA that are very open to freedom of expression and art, and you know, not only art, but to me, this is not just art. This is an art and a sport, because you gotta run, you gotta do all kinds of physical shit too. You know, you gotta climb shit, you gotta jump shit, you gotta do all kinds of shit. So it's an art and a sport. You gotta have some skill, and you gotta be able to be athletic enough to get down with this shit. You know, you can't just be an old man and just be like, I'm gonna just start doing this shit one day, you know? LA is probably one of the biggest counties in the United States, probably. I don't know, my statistics, don't quote me on it. Maybe I'm wrong, don't get mad at me, but graffiti started in New York. Give it up to New York for sure. NYC, they started it way back in the fucking 70s and shit. Like, LA has its own taste, its own style, just like music, like West Coast style music, bro. We have We're just laying down the sketch, brother. We're just laying down so we know what we're painting when we paint it, and then we're gonna hit it right now with the purples and the greens, and that's just gonna come out.
He's already, bro, within like 7-8 minutes of being here, got basically most of the framework rolled out. Like, it happens this quick, y'all. When I see these tags, I'm thinking like, this is gonna take hours. You know, I'm assuming I'm gonna be here for hours today filming this, but bro's already got basically Rolex outline done, so. What does Rolex mean, bro? Does it have any specific meaning, or how did the tag come about?
Shit, I like to tell people, a genie whispered it in my ear. If you know the history of Rolex, you know that's how the actual name started. The German guy that moved to Switzerland that started the brand Rolex. Rolex actually doesn't mean a thing. He just pretty much fucking came up with that name in a dream, and he said a genie whispered it to him. So honestly, I feel the same way. It came to me in a mystical way.
How long you been tagging for, bro?
Shit, I've been doing this shit since I was a kid, bro. Since I could write, bro. Since I was like 4 or 5 years old, bro.
What got you into that, bro, at 4 or 5?
I was a natural, man. It wasn't even like, I mean, honestly, maybe subconsciously, it was like the graffiti in my area.
Did you have any like that you looked up to as a kid?
Yeah. There is some graffiti artists. I look up to Vane from MSK. He made a quote, or he has a saying that he went sober. He did 3 years just straight painting every day, you know. And I look up to that because I'm trying to be sober.
Why do you tag?
Shit, because honestly, it's lesser of all evils, man. It's a sport, it's a hobby, it's an art form, and it's the lesser of all evils, man. Honestly, could be doing a lot of other shit, man. Especially if you know how it is.
How illegal is it to tag, bro? Like, is it a big deal?
Cops trip, bro. They trip. They do their job, bro. They do their fucking job, bro. They fucking chase us with the helicopters. They let the dog out on us, bro. Honestly, bro, cops, I don't know how it works, bro, but these motherfuckers, They be having a good day, they be having a bad day, but when they're having a bad day, it's gonna be your bad day, dog. I'm gonna tell you straight up, huh? They'll throw the book at you, dog, like they'll fucking get everything on you, bro. Or sometimes they might just fucking be like, you know what, it's all good, you know? They might just let you slide. It depends, you know.
It depends on the cop.
Honestly, it's LA, man. It's a lot of open-mindedness. I see sides that are more conservative is more strict. Like I see Orange County, bro, and you go out there, you see no graffiti whatsoever, bro. And you know, if you do a name out there, you get fouled on, you get fucking prosecuted, and you get tripped on. Out here, they let it slide because they know, like, honestly, they'd rather us be doing this shit than out here fucking gunning each other down, bro. And that's what they don't understand, bro. Honestly, if they don't give us a choice, then it's like literally what are we gonna do? Just be stuck in the neighborhood, running into fools, fucking getting into altercations.
Honestly, bro, you take a look under this bridge, bro, and if it wasn't for this graffiti, I mean, look at all the shit laying around, right? All this shit laying around tells you that nobody gives a fuck to clean up this shit, which tells you no one's gonna keep the upkeep on this. So you guys are the literal paint upkeep of the streets.
They do this shit on purpose, bro. The city subliminally has legal, unincorporated areas where they don't give a fuck, where they just pretty much let you do whatever the fuck you want, like the homeless people and shit, so that way you stay in one area and you feel comfortable in one area and you don't go fuck up the other areas. So in a way, this is a legal spot, but it's not legal, but it's just something that they won't look at, you know what I mean? Because they just want us to keep it over here on this side where people aren't over here. You know, this is all industrial, bro. This is nothing. There's just nothing but factories and shit out here, you know? So that's why they want to keep it out here. They don't trip out here, so we keep it out here. That's how I see it, man. But hey, I think graffiti belongs everywhere, man.
It was a pleasure, dog. Thank you so much, Rolex, for your time. We're gonna put his Instagram right here for you guys. Be sure to give him a follow and give him a comment on one of his posts, man.
Shout out to my boy Tonka for tapping in and being a real one. Honestly, he's been straight up with me ever since day one. Solid ass dude, bro. If you fuck with him, bro. Tap in, bro. He's on the big things, bro. He's doing big things, man.
Yeah.
Tap in.
It's lit, America. On to the next. We are currently en route to our next graffiti artist, y'all. Guy that goes by the name of Doom. I believe he's over here in his Mickey D's parking lot. All right, let's see if we can make it through this. Damn. It's a one way in, one way out type of deal.
Right here.
Type shit. Bro just dug it. Oof. But check out this little graffiti hotspot, America. This is dope. It's like a whole little inside wall of graffiti. That's pretty sick. Check out this beautiful work of art. Go look at that, America. And the man behind the painting, Mr. Doom himself. And what does the tag Doom mean?
Discriminating over minorities or destruction of others' opposite mindset. Or technically that was 3 O's, but destroying others' opposite mindset.
How long you been tagging? How long you been at it for, bro?
Really, since I was about like 18, 19.
How old are you now?
26.
26, okay.
Yeah, 25. In reality, like I had that keen eye since I was like, shit, like this tall. Like 4th grade, 5th grade, that was me just looking at stuff because creativity's everywhere, but learning how to adapt, understand, and seeing that each people got different styles, but knowing how to like create your own. That's the biggest thing, because you know what, you could get inspiration, but if you just jock,
that is one thing I will say bro's got going for him, bro. I mean, I gotta say, if you take a look at this graffiti wall just right here, the one that stands out the most to you, his bro's right here, Doom. He's definitely doing a good job of that. What got you into tagging?
Honestly, the history behind buildings, whether it's a wall that like we don't know what was here, whether it could be something all the way in like the desert that's from 1880 and like someone built it by hand, it's leaning like this. It could be something that someone lived in, it could be someone that was like a shack from like 1940s, and you know what, like stuff's preservable. You can put your name on a little tag, but walls speak, you know, and especially if you're just a layer behind it, there's a story behind it as well. You go, oh yeah. It's like the Venice walls.
That's perfect for the theme of What's Good America, bro, because we're always out here exploring, doing some urban, and you know, we're always seeing your guys' tags on our adventures. So, you know, that's kind of part of the point, you know, we're trying to connect America with the inside of what really goes down out here in LA, you know? You see Doom in the background, now you guys know where it came from.
And especially with like Native American histories, you go through like your ancestors, whether it be any kind of race, there's people and your ancestors that have put their handprints on the wall, something that can show that humans were there before, oh, let me put my name. Right.
Why do you tag? Like, is there a lot of people, you know, they see the graffiti, and the goal of this video is for like even a Karen person who doesn't like graffiti to be like, you know what, graffiti is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's an expression. Personally, always putting your name up is the main goal, but putting what you want out, and especially when you put your blood, sweat, tears down into it, it's more to represent than just a name. Like there's something behind it, or there's something behind the layers, and especially like you don't know that each letter can represent something, but that's how names become. And especially when you can put abbreviation to abbreviation, it kind of like opening a can of worms. Your knowledge grows.
How illegal is it to tag, bro? How did the cops be on you a lot?
So it's illegal. For me, I've never had my run-ins. I mean, I had my fair share, but like for the most part, it's pretty illegal. But especially if you're doing it at the right time, place, and location. If you're doing it like willy-nilly, not caring, you might just ride down that wrong area, you know?
You gotta be tactical about it.
Yeah.
I'm more of a observation, mission.
Do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework. Make sure you don't leave without water, a snack or something, and especially all your caps. But knowing that your inventory is what you're gonna use, how to put it down, and especially just execute. Execution's the biggest, but if you're not planning it and plotting it, you might be doing it wrong, and especially when you walk down not even the wrong street, but down the wrong action, woo, someone's gonna get you. It's not gonna be right, but hey, better safe than sorry.
I appreciate your time. It's been super lit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dome himself, man. Go be sure to follow his Instagram right here. Check him out. America, do you ever wonder how some of the massive pieces are done in LA? Some of them are done by groups, come to find out. So we're gonna learn a little bit about that together today. We've got a crew right here. We're gonna tell you a little bit more about the crew later on in the interview. But before we do that, these boys are gonna do us the pleasure of painting an awesome piece. A massive one, I'm guessing, because it's 4 guys. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm excited, America. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see this. Hold on. We're going on a secret trail through the highway. Like, who else knows secret trails through the highway besides taggers? Oh man, this is gonna be complicated. So pop it up. On one. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit. Here. Yo, grab the back. And turn off the throttle. This stump right here. Yeah. And drop it. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, real team players. Boys, these guys are a real team. There's some unity in this group, I can already tell. Just gotta get a little momentum going, and hit the gas. We almost had her. We got it. Whew. Yeah, you can tell this is gonna be a good one because I'm having to work for it. All right, we gotta move that razor wire. I gotta move that razor wire. Oh yeah, real one. Whew. Okay. That is easily the biggest piece of art on that wall. Looks like they are finished. And so what does the tag AOC mean? Where did it come from? How did it come about?
AOC started in about 2007. I started it as a one-man crew. It stands for About Our Cash. anyone challenge, all over cities, all over Cali, things like that.
So how did you guys become a group? Like, you gotta wonder, like, you said you started as a one-man group.
Yeah, bro.
How did you guys end up to be what you are today?
Everybody who participated in the roller today has been with me 10 plus. You know, we all known each other for a good long while. This is like basically this is the foundation right here. You know what I'm saying? And basically it's a bunch of homies. We grew up together and we all push the same line. We all stand on the same thing. AOC.
So how long have you guys been tagging for? You said since 2007?
Yeah, I started the crew 2007.
You've been tagging for?
Since I was 13. I'm 35 now.
How illegal is it to tag? Like, have you guys gotten in trouble with cops? Is it often that the cops pull up? Do most cops trip? Like,
DA Reject Kings over here.
DA Rejects, bro. You know what? It all depends where you're at, really. If you're in LA, downtown LA, it's a good chance they ain't tripping on that.
Okay.
They got so much other things to worry
Right.
about. If you're in the sub areas of LA, San Gabriel Valley, Compton Watts area, they might react a little different because tagging's different in different areas. In LA, this is the Mecca, so everybody's over here painting, you know? This is where it's at, so they're used to it.
so what got you into tagging? You got any inspiration, any big names in the game that inspired you?
My boy T from UTI and my boy Loki from T5E. Those are the two members that brought me into the scene and expressed to me what it was about, and basically got me influenced, and that's how I got influenced into it.
Do you have any knowledge or graffiti history that you would like America to hear?
It started in the street, it should stay in the street, you know what I'm saying? Get your money by all means, just remember where it started.
I was curious, I'm sure a lot of people are, about how much money does it cost you guys to pull off a piece like you guys just did?
Honestly, it would cost somebody about 50, 60 bucks, not too much, but for us, we tend to rack our paint, so you know, it doesn't cost that much where we work. Sometimes we're able to get paint, you know, from work, from family.
Okay.
All of our grandma's house is empty with, you know, all that bucket paint.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
You guys have any crazy stories that you would like to share? Any wild stories that just entertain America?
Think about something, fellas, that we can't get charged with.
The time we hit that AOC on the rooftop and they got stuck there?
Oh, yeah. So me and my boy Norz were hitting a roofie in our area, and basically we put the ladder up on the back. There's a security that patrols that premise. So as we were done and coming to the ladder, I noticed there was a squad car, a Charger, and a dude outside the Charger smoking a cigarette, like waiting. So I told him, hold up, back up. And we crouched down and we're eyeballing him, trying to see what the situation is. And just eyeballing him, we could tell he doesn't know what we were doing, nor does he see the 12-foot ladder going up to the roof. So we waited for him to leave. He ended up leaving. We climbed down the 12-foot ladder, took our ladder down, and we were able to make it home safely.
What got you into tagging, bro?
Me, shit, my neighbor's older brother, the fool rides Zen, or used to. He rides Scam now. He was a kid, you know, tech deck with the neighbors, his older brother. See him riding in the sketchbook. Started creating me some tags and shit to practice, and it was on from there.
Like, what makes you want to go out and tag?
Just the adrenaline I get from like thinking, oh, am I gonna get caught up? Just looking at that shit, you know, after it's done, just seeing it on the freeway or whatever, you know?
But it's a hobby, my boy. It's like anything else, like riding this shit right here. I got my own thing, I ride that.
Oh, you ride too?
Yeah, I ride, I got my own
You're gonna have to
shit.
hit me up on the ground.
Oh yeah, for sure. Motherfuckers think they catch me slipping, hell nah.
Ah man, it's just, you know, you stressing and whatever, you need a little get your itch off. Shit, you go hit the streets, get your little tags off, bomb.
It's like a coping mechanism almost.
Oh, for sure. It's just therapeutic, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that something quote unquote illegal, you know, I don't see any harm in it. It doesn't cause too much damage, but it's interesting to me that something of the nature can, just like bike, often cause unity. You know, I noticed that you guys work together as a team. You guys were united. You guys were kind of moving as one. So I guess one of my questions is, how does each of you guys know what to do and when to do it? Like, does someone have a certain letter? Is someone assigned a certain color? Is someone assigned a certain length?
We'll get the measurement of the whole building, right? Get the measurement, and how I do is I count. 1, 2, 3. Let's say it's 30 steps. So if it's 30 steps, each letter is gonna be 10 steps. That way we keep all the letters symmetrical, straight, and they're all the same size. You know, because not only do you want to drop something big, you want to make sure it's crispy, it's nice, it's solid, you know? So that's our little measurement techniques. Real quick with your feet, count it out. But I'm saying when you guys are out there in the field, how does each of you guys know like what your position is? Do you guys decide that beforehand?
Right. No,
Do you guys
definitely,
decide it
yeah.
like in the moment?
No, we're chopping it up. You know, we're game planning. We're scheming on the way over there. We've been doing this for a while. You know, it's not our first.
It probably just took a while for you guys to just
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, bro.
We trust each other.
all day.
Yeah, we trust in each other to get our job done. You know, everybody plays a little role.
So what's your guys' main roles? I'm like the quarterback.
lines guy,
I'm
right?
the quarterback. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop every letter and my team's gonna follow behind me. They're gonna fill it in. They're gonna cover what I missed, straighten the lines that I may have made a little crooked in a hurry. They know already because we've been operating with each other. So they know how it goes. He's just gonna follow me, vice versa, the next guy, and we're just gonna pick up where the last man is slacking or, you know, whatever it may be, we're gonna pick up. That's lit, boys. Well, thank you guys for your time. Absolutely. Interview. AOC, y'all, we're gonna drop the Instagram page right here. Be sure to give them a follow to check out their work. To the next one, America. We'll see you there. We have one more group. This is the grand finale, if you will. This is a group called DISO, D-I-S-O. We'll find out some more from them after they get painted up. In the meantime, we'll just let you guys enjoy this art in the tunnel. Maybe put on a nice little beat by Trogdor. Pigs just pulled off, man. They fucking came over here, tried to sweat me. He thought I was like, look, bro, I don't got no paint, nothing. And look, the crew's just fine too. Feel me? Now look at that. So that's how it goes. You see it firsthand here, America. As you can see, the police at the end of the tunnel, he just left. Looks like he's trying to do a U-turn, maybe calling back up. So we may have to get out of here. You know, I was starting to think that, you know, they didn't actually care about graffiti, but it looks like they care. Hey, sir, could I interview you? Hey, if you want to, we can hop on and we can go out the other way. Let's say, put those bags up high on your arm. I'm gonna kick this bitch in high gear and we're gonna get up out of here.
Get the fuck out of there. God damn it. Bullshit.
You're good, you're good, you're good. Just hold on. I'm professional. I'll do this for a living.
No. Did not expect you to be doing this.
Hey, you know shit happens, you feel me? And I'm not gonna let shit happen to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I guess the laws are kind of to where the point, I guess they kind of have to catch you in the act before they can chase you or do anything. So we were not getting chased, but I didn't want anything to happen to our new graffiti friend. So just made sure we got her up out of there expeditiously. It was just an old bored cop, had nothing else better to do, it looked like to me. Because I've seen cops pull up on graffiti artists in that tunnel before and they're just like, they don't give a fuck. We are back to 0 stars in the GTA server. I've got the crew going to a new spot to attempt something badass. Don't tell me y'all's finna tag Foot Locker now. That's just too crazy. Because we've seen this many times in our videos. My viewers, I'm sure they're curious. This is the person who makes this cool tag.
So the flamingo actually symbolizes like balance and harmony, but I kind of extend that to also mean like solidarity, like between movements. And I always kind of started painting. I originally designed this like as a flat design piece of like art, digital art. And then I just started drawing him. And basically I always kind of paired him with this part of a poem I wrote where it says, all of our struggles are deeply intertwined, and we shall overcome if we all get aligned. Because like a bunch of flamingos lined up and like the harmony and the balance and solidarity basically. And now he's just kind of like a symbol of revolution. Like he's about collective liberation. He's our little comrade Mingo.
Tell us about this tag, brother. What does it mean?
They call me 1010 Disso Crew, so I got the shorter 10 version for my throw up right here. TIN. Basically, it's just you know, it's another name that I've always had. That's my nickname.
My tag is Hazel, and I was looking for a strong feminine name. I was also just writing letters.
Okay.
Coming up with what letters I like the best.
All right.
So HZL are my favorite.
Well, in Spanish it means moro, like a little boy, and I always wanted to write that because, you know, I'm short and I look like a little boy, so, you know. Okay. Yeah. I created this during quarantine because I was bored, so, you know, and I fell in love with graffiti. Actually, I got the name from a homegirl. That's this musician. Her name's Mika Levy. She had this group called Nicotry and the Shapes. And I was just like, you know what? I think it'd be a sick name to write. Turns out it was one of the hardest things to do. You would think the MICA real simple. Nah, that stuff is not simple. It's so hard to try to figure out. But I did. I figured it out, you know what I mean?
Just things I liked and something that kind of resonated with me. And I'm a big fan of like Kill Bill and anime and all that kind of stuff. So I was kind of thinking about fighting aspects of like swords and all the stuff that comes with that. And I also used to be a really big fan of the Scott Pilgrim novels, and there's a character in those novels called Knives. So I just kind of like combined all those things, and that's kind of where I landed. And
Yaga, I took it from Baba Yaga. She's this wicked witch from Russian folklore. It don't really mean nothing specific. I just, you know, initially I thought it was a good name to use. I was worried about picking a tag that somebody else would already have. You know, like, I'm sure there's 100 different scenes or scripts or Joker, whatever. And I don't know, I just figure, when am I going to see another tagger named Yaga?
How long have you been tagging for?
Yeah, honestly, I've only been tagging since like January. I did it when I was a kid, but then I got into it maybe like 6 months ago again.
Shoot, almost a decade? Active in the streets, almost a decade.
So I started doing graffiti back in 2023.
Really, you know, I first got into tagging actually when I got sober. I got sober about 2 years ago, and when I was in my sober living, one of the homies that I lived with was actually one of the OGs from OTR. And he didn't teach me much, but he taught me the basics. He actually taught me the first collection of letters. That's where I got my tag.
Tell us what got you into tagging, bro.
I just seen all the street art. My family got me into it. So yeah.
This current genocide in Gaza, and that's what got me into it. Initially was just the messaging was very important to me, so I was just going all around town writing messages about Gaza.
Graffiti is the purest form of art because you don't do this shit for money.
You know, you do this shit for no money, and it's some shit that you have to defend with blood. You gotta, if you don't got money, you gotta steal your paint. If some fools go over you, then you gotta defend your honor, you know? It's a way to experiment with the art of letter forms, writing letters, and being able to defend it, you know? LA is one of the most vicious cities to do graffiti. You gotta be able to stand on your work.
What makes you tick, bro? Why do you tag?
I tag because LA, there's not a lot of shit to do. It's a very expensive city to live in. You want to go to the bar, want to pop bottles, a lot of money. Tagging is just fun because you get to just fully express yourself and people are going to see it, you know? Think of all the advertising companies that spend thousands of dollars putting up billboards to sell you shit that you don't need, when you could just spray paint a wall and that advertisement goes way further for $0. You know what I mean?
Speaking of dollars, how much does it cost to do something like this?
Well, shit, if you're rocking your paint, then it's $0. You sponsored by Home Depot. That's considered the most honorable way to shout out Home Depot. Otherwise, you know, like if I have money, then I'll buy paint. But relatively, it's cheap.
Do you know about, like, say you had to buy the paint, how much something like this would cost?
In 2 cans, and I buy it for like $4 or $5 each. It's like less than $10. That's why, you know, even kids who grow up poor or they're broke, and they do that shit too, man.
How illegal is it to tag? I think that question has been answered evidently tonight.
It is illegal. I mean, it's illegal, but we have more numbers than the cops. No matter how much money they put into policing this shit, they can't stop it. That's why the enforcement on graffiti has like waxed and waned over the years, and it's at an all-time low right now, actually.
Do you have any history, knowledge, or crazy stories that America just absolutely has to hear, or anything that's just pertinent to the culture?
Me personally, I love to paint billboards. So getting up on the high spot, painting over an advertisement where that space would normally just sell you some bullshit or, you know, whatever the fuck. I love getting up on billboards and getting an ad that I know would normally cost like $1,000 for some company or whatever. One of the most crazy stories I have, I guess, is like me trying to turn off the light on a billboard and that shit fucking electrocuted me, dude. The whole thing was just coursing with electricity. It was just poorly maintained, so when I touched it, my pinky started, my nail broke in half on my pinky and it started bleeding. I said, fuck it, you know, put on some rubber gloves, turned off the light on the billboard, painted it anyway, and we were painting it. And then while we were up there, the fucking cops saw us, and they told us, like, get the fuck out of there. We hide in between the billboards, like sandwiched in between the billboards. The helicopter, the fucking ghetto birds, like shining the light on us, like, trying to see if we're still in there, like, and telling us to get the fuck out. And we just wait for like 10 minutes, and the helicopter and the police, like, they circle the block, seeing if we like ran away. And in that time, we just fucking get out of there. And then I went back to the light switch, I put my rubber gloves back on, and I turned the light back on so people could see the shit.
One of my favorite and not favorite stories was I was painting out in Eagle Rock with the homegirl of mine at the time, and we were painting this lot, daytime. I painted the lot, got out, and waited for her to get her things going. We were doing blockbusters. So I put all my stuff back in my car. I'm just like on looks. Broad daylight. Seems pretty chill, you know? This old dude comes up, like old dude, old. And he walks by and he's like, is that your painting partner? Like pointing to the person in the lot. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And he walks away. And like 15 minutes go by and I'm just like, all right, it's chill. It's just an old dude. He comes back with a youngster, this loped out fool from the neighborhoods. And he looks at me and he's like, hey, I'm gonna kill you. And I just start running. Like I tell my homie, run. She's in a lot that's like the main street's right there and then it connects into the suburbs. So she can dip out into the suburbs. But it's like, you know, you don't got a whole lot of places to run. Me, I'm just on the street, broad daylight, running away from this guy. I run across the main street, try to dip into one of the back streets. I get away from him because I think he tries to pursue my friend for a second. So I get away, I'm like, all right, I try to call my homegirl, be like, all right, we're gonna meet up at this spot right now. What I should have done was, I should have hid somewhere more better because he comes up in his BMW, skirts, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. He keeps on being like, I'm a whatever stuff he was saying, he's gonna kill me, whatever. So I run, I hop in someone's backyard, hop through the fence, and then I go into an apartment building that was behind. It was like a movie. It was like some GTA type stuff. And I'm like running away from this fool. I get away for the first time and I'm like out of breath. I'm like, all right, here's the plan. I'm gonna try to call an Uber to take me back home because I didn't live too far at the time. The Uber's not finding my location. I'm like, bro, why is it tripping? of all times, why now? You know, my homegirl's trying to call me to see where I'm at, and I'm like not really thinking too much about it. The Uber finally finds my location after what felt like forever. I go outside to peep it out the little front gate. I see the Uber just down the street, maybe up the block, and I'm like, okay, cool. I walk towards it, and I see the BMW pull right behind him, and he gets out on the same side. I want to kill you, the same thing. And I was like, oh no. So I tried to hop over one more fence, but it was like all sharp. I kid you not, my pants get caught, and it rips. Like I'm like movie style stuck on this fence while this fool's chasing me. I had to literally, I don't even know how I did it. By the grace of Allah, by the grace of God, I literally ripped the pants, like shimmied off of it. My stuff was ripped all the way, like it was done. I was wearing some Air Maxes. The soles came off of that because they were old. I was just like still running out of breath. There was another apartment building, so I hopped over like a half story. I hopped over it, the wood broke off this fence, I fell down into this apartment building. This is all a real story too, this isn't even an embellishment. This is the second apartment building that I'm in. At this point, I think I'm gonna die here, because this fool just has me. I don't know how many people this guy's with, but I see the same fool in this BMW, and I'm just like, bruh, there's no way I'm in this situation. I'm knocking on people's doors. I'm trying to get water and stuff. I'm like, please, someone help me. I'm getting chased by some gang fool. He must have mistaken identity me or whatever. That's what I was saying. I was like, I had to take off my pants because it looked crazy. In case I had to run, it wasn't safe. With like the way it was. So I took off my pants, broad daylight in my underwear in this apartment complex, trying to knock on people's doors. This dude is circling the block for me. He knows that I'm around here somewhere. So I see this dude come in the apartment complex I'm in. He comes out of one of the apartments. I begged him, I'm like, bro, can you please just take me down the street to my house? I got jumped, this and that. Like I'm getting chased by some gang fools. Like I don't know what to do. And this dude looked so unsure. Like I knew he did not want to take me. But he said, all right, fine, I'll take you. Get into his car. I put the seat back. I tell him, hey, I live just down the way, which I did. He took me back to my crib. And I told my friend to meet up at my house. I get there, and kid you not, my car keys was gone.
How I got into Dizzo though was I was driving home from work one day. I look up on the wall and there's this disorient tag, and I see on either side one hand's holding a hammer and the other's holding a sickle, and that's what caught my attention. You know, I just always thought that was cool because, you know, I'd always wanted to do radical graffiti, but I never really knew a way how to do it. And then here was this fucking tag. I started seeing him everywhere. You know, I reached out to him on Instagram. It's fucking sick and I want to be a part of it. And he said, all right, you know, do you paint? And I was like, I have a little experience, but toy as fuck, I can't even shade. And he's like, well, just come out one night.
Los Angeles specifically has a really deep history when it comes to graffiti. Before it even became graffiti, we had gangs in the 40s and 50s that were hitting up their hood, you know, so that predates what we know as contemporary graffiti in like the 70s. So whereas Philly, New York, they had like people just writing nicknames. People here also wrote nicknames, but they were also getting their neighborhoods up because a big part of their like black and brown culture was being erased at that time, the same way it is now. But at that time, they were like, you know what, no, we're gonna put up our names. So you could imagine like in the 40s, people putting up block letters and Old English to represent the neighborhoods, to a way to let people know we're still here, despite people trying to erase that. And so, you know, decades later, we're still doing the same thing, you know what I mean? It's a rich history in Los Angeles. You know, it dates back all the way. They've been doing it.
The result is, let's get some insight into the mind of the female artist. What inspired the name Graffiti?
I started writing because of activism, but I've been an artist in other ways. But I was always writing heavy subject matter, like political shit, genocide.
Heavy, like gravity.
Yeah.
How did this group come to be? How did you end up in a group, or basically like the leader of a group?
I first met Tintin, and we both were we just knew that we were both like kind of communist, activist type folk. So we like met up to do a collab, and then Knives actually also was tagging on my block basically. One time I saw y'all like tagging, and I was like, yo, be careful, is it whatever? And you were like, yo, is that Graffiti? And then Tin introduced me to Yaga, and then you and Tin introduced me to Mika. And then seeing as a lot of people don't look at graffiti as political, even though it's literally always been political. Everything is political, but I mean especially graffiti. Like every time I see a Starbucks, I'll try to write up a boycott. Oh, this is so cute. I know that y'all are freaking out, but I'm like, ah, it's so cute.
The rabies machine.
No. They actually are very clean.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
America, it's been real. It's been fun. I hope, like me, you learned something from this video today. You know, personally, I see a lot of good, a lot of bad, and a lot of all in between, just like everything else in life, you know. But overall, I see an outlet for people to be able to express themselves, which in turn, you know, if people don't get to express themselves, something worse could definitely be in order, if that makes sense, you know? What I'm trying to say is, the small, quote-unquote, crime like graffiti, you never know what type of real, actual crime that has actually, in turn, prevented, because somebody has been able to express something and maybe even release something off their chest. I'm not here to make you guys think a certain way. I'm just here to make you guys think, and most importantly, to show you guys what's good with America. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all's the coolest people in the world. Until next time.
America, fuck yeah!